Welcome to Adventure Sean on day one of what is going to be an absolutely incredible trip over the next 5 days. Welcome to my NC 500 road trip. It's day one and I'm starting off here in Inverness. Now the NC 500 of course stands for the North Coast 500 because it's a trip around the northern coast of Scotland here in the United Kingdom, and yeah, it's 516 miles long. I'm going to be completing the trip over 5 days and you're going to be able to join me throughout this epic road trip, this awesome adventure that I've wanted to do ever since this route was officially launched back in 2015. Now of course the many different sites along the way and the roads themselves have been here much longer than that, but it was established as the NC 500 in 2015, a road trip that you can do here in Scotland, and it's something that I've wanted to do for quite some time. Last year I came to Scotland, I climbed Ben Nevis, I went around Loch Ness, saw the Forth Bridge and lots of other things that I'd wanted to do, but I saved the best until now, as I'm hoping for anyway, and that is the NC 500. One of the most scenic views I'm ever going to see in my life, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm starting off right here, just above the River Ness, here of course in Inverness. So yeah, it's great to be here to start the trip, and come and join me on what is going to be an absolutely incredible adventure. So before I get going on the road trip, I've parked up this morning here in Inverness, just have a little look around and of course start the trip traditionally at Inverness Castle that we can see just over there. I'm going to be getting a little bit closer shortly. Now with this route, you can complete it of course clockwise or anti-clockwise, and I did a lot of research about this as I've been planning this trip for quite some time, and I've decided to go anti-clockwise. So of course I'm going to be back here in 5 days time, right back where I started, hopefully after seeing so many amazing views and sights. So yeah, my advice for you if you're looking at doing this is do it anti-clockwise, from looking at what other people have said, because apparently the scenery just gets better and better throughout the trip. Now as much as the real road trip is just about to begin, I've just done one hell of a journey to actually get here to Inverness, and that's a 424 mile trip from where I'm based in the Midlands, of course in England, and that took 7 hours to complete that trip through the night. Luckily there was no traffic at all and it was great, and I managed to catch a few hours sleep in the car, which leads me on to talk about the accommodation that I'm going to be staying in during this trip. Well, the plan is, because I'm on my own, I can have some quite comfortable sleeps in the car, and also as well I've actually got the tent with me as well, a nice pop-up tent. So the plan is to do a bit of car camping, as I call it, a bit of wild camping maybe in the tent if we get some nice locations. So yeah, that is the plan. I've booked no accommodation, I'm just going for it, because when you're covering over 500 miles on a road trip, you know, you don't necessarily know exactly what times you're going to be getting to certain hotels, and some days I might do more than other days, you know, so I just want to kind of go with the flow and yeah, not actually book any accommodation. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that if there's more than you know, one of you, if you're doing it a couple or anything like that. If Charlotte was here with me, of course my partner, then yeah, you know, I wouldn't do that. But because I'm on my own, I can just kind of go with the flow, and I've got plenty of room just to car camp, as I like to call it. So there's a look at Inverness Cathedral that you can see just there. As we spin around this way, you can see a map of the city just here, all the paths around Inverness, and of course I am just there where the red marker is, the cathedral just there, and of course the castle that we're now a little bit closer to just there over on the other side of the river. This is quite cool. So they're actually using AR technology around here, so that's quite interesting. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster. Of course, this is the River Ness, only about a 25-minute drive down the road, and you reach where I was last year actually, when I went to go and see an absolutely gorgeous castle and explore Loch Ness and try and find Nessie. So yeah, check out that video if you've not already seen it. I reckon that could be, is that Nessie down there? No, I don't think so. I think it's just a little bump there in the floor of the river causing that. But yeah, anyway, we've got this signage just over here that tells you all about the Inverness Castle. So of course I'll just pan over that for you to give you a bit of information. Rebuilt in the 15th century as a royal castle, and of course visits from Mary Queen of Scots down there. Castle was caught up in the Civil War and the 1715 rebellion, as you can see. Gives you a bit of information about it, and then of course more information all about the castle here. Some police cars out of the front. So yeah, the site inspired Scottish architect William Byrne. He completed the present castle in 1836. So yeah, not as old as you would think really. And of course we can pan over this way to the castle itself. Well, here's an awesome view of the castle just there, up on the hillside. Yeah, how nice is that? Stunning, isn't it? You see all the details on there. Love the shape of some of the turrets and windows on there as well. Very different actually to a lot of other castles that I've seen. Really nice to see. If we pan just a little bit further over to the left, we can see the steeple just over there as well. That was built at the end of the 18th century, I believe. Used to be part of a prison. Yeah, that's really nice. So if we carry on down this way, of course, you've got the road bridge that just crosses over there. Just going to see what the views are like from up at the top here before filling up with some fuel and getting into the car, and let's get started. Love the architecture of these buildings just here along the river, and the signage up the top just there, the Columbia Hotel. Yeah, they just look great all next to each other, don't they, them buildings? Really nice architecture. Pan round to the right hand side just here. Get another nice view down the river, this time in the opposite direction to where we started off. There is a bridge down there that looks very similar, if not the same specifications to the one where I started this video just a few minutes ago. Just looking out there over the River Ness. Stunning. A nice little walk around Inverness to start this incredible adventure. Now I need to go and fill up because, like I say, I've just done a 7-hour drive to get here and I'm running out of diesel, so I need to go and fill up, and yeah, then I'm going to get back in the car, of course. Got the nice trusty Renault Clio here that I'm going to be using throughout the trip, and yeah, it's going to be taking me around on this adventure. Let's go.
With a full tank of fuel and plenty of supplies in the boot, I was off on my adventure and started off along the A9, firstly crossing over the Keswick Bridge.
So after crossing over the Keswick Bridge just there, made my way here to the Black Isle. I've only travelled a couple of miles since I left the Morrisons, but just thought I'd come and show you this awesome view just here. Of course, Inverness looking back to the left-hand side there. And yeah, I was just driving along the road. That's the beauty of doing these road trips. Driving along, it said, oh, viewpoint and parking area. So I thought, oh, I'll just park up. Literally, my car's just at the top of the steps just here. And you get a fantastic view. There's even a bench there to sit and enjoy the views. But yeah, isn't it nice just looking out there? Just thought it's well worth stopping off at these little viewpoints just to give you a bit of an idea. But as this trip progresses, the views are going to get even more beautiful, and I can't wait for it. Well, I've only been driving down the A9 for about 10 minutes, and already I feel like I'm in a completely different place in the middle of nowhere. The views here are pretty spectacular already. And I'm actually going to be crossing over the river just here in a second on this very interesting looking bridge. Bit of a zoom in down there, oh, all the low cloud. Love it up here in the Highlands. But yeah, zoom in down to the bridge just there. So, of course, with the GoPro being mounted in the car window, get some great views crossing over there. So I've continued driving and seen some great scenery so far, and then I've stepped foot onto my first beach here in Golspie, and yeah, it is the North Coast 500 after all. There's going to be plenty of beaches along the way as we're all around the coast, but yeah, just thought I'd stop off here. It's not like a massive place to look around, just thought it'd be a nice place to have some lunch. I've got a packed lunch with me today, with it being the first day of the trip, but some of the other days, of course, I'm going to be buying more food along the way, and of course this evening I'm going to be looking for somewhere for dinner, maybe a fish and chip shop or something like that, maybe that I might find along the way, who knows. But yeah, look at this, absolutely stunning views here in Golspie. The water's really nice and clean here as well, and yeah, there's some nice free parking just off to the left hand side. I'm literally just parked behind these little sand dunes that you can see here. Pretty stunning view back up there. You see all the low cloud up there on the hill. In terms of the drive so far, it's going well. Of course, it is mostly single carriageway roads, 60-mile-an-hour speed limit, mostly. Of course, when you go through some little towns and villages, then yeah, it does drop down to 30 or 40. But yeah, you're mostly going at 60 miles an hour. Road doesn't seem too busy at the moment either, you know, the main road that I'm travelling up, the A9. But yeah, I'm going to head back up this way now, get into the car, and actually there's a little map just around here, so I'll show you that first, just before we get back in the vehicle. Nice little boat planter just over there, isn't it? You know, you got this signage just here, giving you a bit of information. And of course, as you can see there, you can normally see some seals around here as well. I mean, I've just been sat here having some lunch, not seen any. But yeah, it does say at the top there that it can be quite common to see some seals around here. And there's a look at the map just there. So of course, we started off down here in Inverness, made our way up through this way, down the A9. Oh, got a friend just over here. Yeah. And then, of course, yeah, we're now just over here in Golspie. So what I'm going to be doing next is actually carrying on, oh, another friend, just up the road, only a few miles, to go and see a castle. So this looks absolutely stunning. So we're going to get back in the car and, yeah, continue the journey up. Here we go then, so I've just parked up, plenty of free parking down here to come and see Dunrobin Castle, and look at this. It's like something out of a fairy tale, isn't it? Look at that. All the details, especially above the windows. Absolutely incredible, it really is. Let's go down here and take a look. Stunning, look at the big clock up there as well. Little balcony around the side. Oh, amazing, love the architecture of this.
Adult tickets for Dunrobin Castle are £12.50, with a child's ticket coming in at £7.50. There's also discounts for students, seniors and family tickets available.
Right then, so here I am inside, and look at this. We've got the staircase just here. So yeah, like I say, £12.50 for a ticket to see this. And this has been on my bucket list for a few years, actually, ever since I first wanted to come and do the NC 500. And look at this. Absolutely stunning in here.
Dunrobin Castle has been called the home to the Earls and Dukes of Sutherland since the 13th century, and was first mentioned as a stronghold of the family in 1401. The early castle was actually a fortified square keep, with walls 6 feet thick and a vaulted ceiling that looked out onto a clifftop position. The keep stood isolated for some 200 years until a staircase and a high house were added. The castle was encased by a series of additions from the 16th century onwards. In 1785, a large extension was constructed. Remarkably, this early keep still survives, much altered within the complex of these later additions. Sir Charles Barry, in 1845, completely remodelled the castle to change it from a fort and into a house.
This place is absolutely amazing, it really is, and the views looking out of the windows are incredible. Can't wait to get out there and look back at the castle from there too, in the gardens. But into the library now, and this is probably my favourite room so far. So I've just been told we're in some of the older parts of the building now. Just been through the nursery there and into some of the bedrooms just here as well. But honestly, this place is absolutely incredible. Pictures and videos just don't do it justice. There's so much to see.
Dunrobin Castle became a boys' boarding school for a period of 7 years in the late 1960s, before later reverting back to being a family house.
Well, the inside of Dunrobin Castle was absolutely gorgeous. All of the details inside the rooms, beautiful in there, it really is. And just to see all of the different items throughout the rooms, and really good staff in there, giving you bits of information as you're going around and telling you all about the different rooms and what there is to see inside. But yeah, that was gorgeous in there, it really was. Certainly exceeded all expectations. And from the outside, this place looks even more incredible in my opinion, because look at this just behind me. Wow. Just sat up there on the hillside, and you've got all the gardens down here. You've got a little museum outside here as well, and also there's like a falconry area. So yeah, there's lots to come and explore here, and it's definitely worth coming to see on the trip. But yeah, in terms of weather, it's actually really warm here today. It's 19 degrees Celsius. I wasn't expecting the temperatures to be quite as high, especially with us being how far up we are in Scotland, you know, on the north coast. But yeah, honestly, this place has not disappointed. Gonna have a nice walk around the gardens now. Well, the gardens really are spectacular, and the views looking back to the castle up on the hill really are stunning. I mean, look at that just behind me. It's incredible, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to head inside the museum now that you've got just down here. With the museum, it's also included in your ticket. Now, of course, this is like a collection of stuffed animals all throughout the 1900s. So if you don't want to see that, I'd probably skip a couple of minutes just on in the video, just so you don't see it. Because, yeah, I think some of the stuff in there is going to be quite interesting, should we say. For its time, it was more of the norm. Of course, nowadays, it's not really the sort of thing that would happen. But yeah, going to head inside there. If you're not comfortable seeing that, then just skip forward a couple of minutes. Back out of the museum then now into these stunning gardens. Not really my sort of thing, the museum there. Of course, you know, it's very of its time, isn't it, doing that sort of thing. But yeah, you know, I thought I wanted to show you it for those of you that are interested in seeing that down here. But anyway, back outside in the gardens now here at Dunrobin Castle. And look at the grounds, like they are stunning. Right over on the opposite side now to where I was before, just down at the end there. And yeah, the views are pretty spectacular. So we're going to walk straight down the middle here and put in some more stunning shots here from the gardens. Well, Dunrobin Castle and Gardens certainly didn't disappoint. That place was absolutely spectacular. Been here around 2 hours having a look round and really enjoyed it. And the fact the sun came out as well when I went down into the gardens to get them incredible views certainly made it. That place is stunning, and if you're doing the NC 500, you've got to add it onto your itinerary. And this is only day one of the trip, and just seeing that place was absolutely incredible. Back in the car then now to continue driving down the A9. Let's go. Now, I only left the castle less than 5 minutes ago and straight down the road to the next destination that I'm going to share with you all, which is this that you can see just behind me. But what is it, I hear you all asking? Well, let's find out. Well, I'll tell you something, the views around here are absolutely stunning, aren't they? Spectacular, isn't it? And as I pan round to the right-hand side just there, you can just see the turrets of the castle that I just visited straight over there. There you go. So yeah, it shows how close we actually are to this. And here we go. So yeah, what is the remains that we can see just here? Well, here we go. As you can see from the people exploring it at the top, we can go up there in just a moment. But yeah, this is known as Carn Liath, or Carn Liath, I think it's pronounced. Honestly, my pronunciation is awful. I do try my best for you all, but yeah, here's a little look at what it would have looked like. Pretty tall, isn't it? Like when you look at the little door down here, yeah, quite tall. And yeah, it's known as a Broch. Now, Brochs are among Scotland's most impressive prehistoric buildings, as you can see here. I mean, there's lots of information. Feel free to pause the video to have a look at that. But yeah, we're going to head in through the entrance just here shortly, and I'm sure there'll be a bit more information inside for us to see as well. But yeah, these date back a very long time, between 1,900 and 2,300 years ago. Pretty incredible, isn't it? So let's go and have a look inside. So just come through the little passageway just there, and here we are inside. Quite a big space in here, isn't it? We go around this little walkway to go up onto the top just there in a second, I think. But here we go, inside the Broch. As you can see, there's some pictures there of what it would have looked like in here. Really interesting. Of course, it says here how the buildings have probably been altered many times over the centuries as well. It was excavated in the Victorian times for the Duke of Sutherland. Unfortunately, due to the poor archaeological techniques used, many questions still remain about the site's development. So yeah, still a lot of questions and not many answers for this one. Amazing to see though, isn't it? A real piece of history here. Let's head down this way. I thought it was a fireplace at first, but I think, there we go, this leads up some steps onto the top just here. It's all about having an explorer, isn't it? Oh wow, look at the view. Here we go. So yeah, the parking is literally free parking just the other side. In fact, you can just see my car just over there. And there's a look at the views all the way around. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, quite tall up here actually, isn't it? Yeah, a real part of history here, isn't it? Looking down. Just noticed as well, look over there in the distance. There's like a little metal shack. Can you see it just over there? Not too sure exactly what it is. Look, I've got a good zoom on this camera. Look at that, like a little shelter. Is it like an old barn or something? I'm really not too sure, but yeah, that's just down there in the distance. How about that? And here we are up at the top. So yeah, going to head back down this way. There's a little room, I think, just down here that I passed. So we're going to have a quick look in there. Yeah, literally just down here. I don't think I can get to it this way, though. No, I'm going to have to come back down this way first. Down the steps. There we go. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's easy when you're not holding a camera. Oh. And there we go. Yeah, just inside here. Ooh. Oh wow, there you go. Oh, there's really not much to see. It doesn't really go too far back. Wonder what that would have been used for. Maybe storage or, I don't know, fascinating. Right, back into the car then now. Got a little bit of a drive now until I get to my next destination where I'm going to be looking round. So yeah, taking some of the scenery from the GoPro that I've mounted in the car windscreen. Let's go. NC 500. Oh. So I've now decided that I'm going to complete the rest of my trip in this boat that we can see just here. Only joking, of course. But when I was driving over the bridge that you can see just behind me over there, quite a nice bridge actually with some stunning views, I passed through the little fishing village here of Helmsdale, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to pull up and just have a little look around because it looked really pretty. The rain has started to come down though now, hasn't it? But yeah, it just looks really nice around here. You got the little harbour just down that way, so I'm going to have a stroll there in just a second. And you got this lovely bridge, so I'll spin you around so you can see it just here. I just thought it looked really picturesque, especially with all the hills there in the background. You've got the bridge just there. But you've also got the Time Span Museum down here as well. You can see that there on the right hand side. You can see the big yellow signage for that. And there's like a little, oh, I'm tripping up. There's like a little tea rooms just there as well. But yeah, some free parking, literally, just up the corner. And there's a spa shop there as well. And there's a couple of fuel stations that I've just passed here as well. So there's plenty of places to fill up along the journey. You just got to make sure, try and keep your tank topped up. That's my advice for you if you're doing the NC 500. Loads of motorbikes, loads of camper vans. Oh, it's great. I love it. Okay, I'm going to have a little walk down this way because I think that leads out to the harbour just down there. So I've continued driving down the A9, some good scenery and also some quite bendy roads. I've not got loads of footage because, like I say, the GoPro is mounted in the window and it's raining, so all you would see is the windscreen wiper just going across. But yeah, it's been quite a nice drive, not too busy at all on the roads, it's lovely. And yeah, I'm just parked up here now at the Whalegoe Steps. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not 100% sure. Like I said earlier, my pronunciation is normally awful. Unfortunately, at the moment, the steps are closed. I believe they're doing some restoration work on them. They did post that they were closed, but literally just a nice little car park just to stop off. Just been having a little bit of fruit that I've got in my packed lunch, and yeah, literally the main road is just there, so it's not like I've come off route for it. But yeah, you can't really see them down there. But yeah, these are some steps that are built into the cliff face. They do look good, but next time I come and do the NC 500, I'll definitely do these as long as they're back open by then. Anyway, I'm going to get back on the road, carry down towards Wick, and yeah, put in some more of the scenery, especially if the rain sort of lets up a little bit. Welcome to Wick. So yes, I've just parked up here on yet another free car park just down by the harbour. They love the free parking up here in Scotland. I wish we had that in England. Like, there's not many places with free parking. But yeah, very quiet little town. I'm going to cross over the bridge just here, have a little walk, and then go down, have a little look around the harbour just there. There's a massive anchor. I don't know if you can see that just over there. But yeah, welcome to Wick. So yeah, this is really the biggest town in the area, I believe. It's also got a Wetherspoon pub. It's actually the only proper spoons on the NC 500, other than, of course, where I started down in Inverness. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be visiting there and having a bit of grub. Why not? So after having a nice walk around the harbour here in Wick, I went over to the UK's most northerly Wetherspoons pub. Oh, it was delicious. Here's the selfie out the front just to prove it. I mean, you know, I've been to the most southerly one, so I thought, well, I've got to go to this one. But yeah, it was good to go there. Had a nice meal, chicken strips and chips with a large Pepsi. Absolutely divine. It was really nice. And then I made my way back outside here now, just taking in some of the scenery, to be honest. It's quite nice around here. Very chilled out, very peaceful. But now I'm going to get back in the car. You can see it parked just over the other side there of the harbour. Head about 3 miles north out of Wick. It's only about a 5-minute drive to go and see Castle Sinclair. This place looks fascinating, so I'm going to head up that way and I'll put a bit of GoPro footage in as I'm driving out of Wick. Right then, so I've arrived at the car park for Castle Sinclair, Girnigoe, as you can see just here from the map. This used to be a huge place. Of course, it is now a ruin. We're going to have a little walk down to it in just a second. Here you got the lighthouse over there, and once again, loads of free parking available just there. So yeah, I've not actually seen the castle yet, or the remains of the castle, but I believe if we just follow this down here, I think it's going to be somewhere off to the left-hand side. But yeah, lovely around here with the lighthouse just over there. Worth pointing out that for most of that journey there, it was single track roads with passing places, so bear that in mind if you are driving. Just be careful coming down. Right then, so I've made it down here to the castle. Oh wow, look at that view just there. How stunning is that? Oh, I love it. And then if we turn the camera just here to the left hand side, here we go, Castle Sinclair. Wow, we've got some scaffolding up, so it looks like they are doing some restoration, of course, to try and preserve what is left of this. God, but it's stunning how it's actually built into the rocks just here. Incredible. Not too sure how close we can get, but I can see a couple of people just walking down further towards the castle there. God, this place is stunning. I mean, I know Scotland is full of castles, and we're going to see quite a few over the next 5 days, but yeah, just to come and see this looks really picturesque. Get some great photos with the water there just behind, just to see this history. But yeah, you can tell they've done quite a bit of restoration work actually. If you look at the stones all on the edge just here, some of the areas in the windows there, yeah, done quite a bit of restoration by the looks of it. Yeah, let's head down that way, because obviously you can do. So yeah, let's go and have a look. No ticket required, nothing like that. It's just one of them places where you can just turn up and have a walk around this one. So this really gives you an idea on just how big it used to be, and all the different sections here, all the different rooms and levels, and of course just how much of it is left to this day. But yeah, you can see like the little bridge going across there, so I'm pretty sure that's what we can see down here. So yeah, like this section here is what we can see there in ruin, and then of course you've got the main tower that you can just about make out. That's this section over here. So when I was researching this trip, I didn't realise you could actually come right in and walk around this place. Like I say, you don't have to pay for admission or anything. And here we are, like, it's incredible. Like, I'm surprised that this isn't somewhere that, you know, has got a paid car park and you've got to pay to walk around. Like, look at this, fascinating. We're standing right in history here in Scotland. Blimey, the view is stunning from here, isn't it? And I was talking just about the restoration. Yeah, you can see how they've been restoring a lot of the rocks just here. You look all up the side. I mean, there's some ladders and scaffolding in there. Yeah, quite a lot of work taking place. But blimey, this place is stunning. It's got to be the biggest surprise of the day, I think. Now, if you want to come and escape from the rest of the world, this is the place to come. Wow. This is amazing. Honestly, the biggest shock of the day coming to here. I thought there'd be some really nice views, but I wasn't expecting it to be anywhere near as scenic as this. What's quite interesting is, you might have already noticed in the shot, just look at all these rocks people have stacked on top of each other. They've done it everywhere, all down both sides, all across there, all up on the top. Now, I'm not too sure, I have to do a bit of research, but it must just be something what people do. Like when you come down here, maybe a few people started it, and then yeah, you just put your rocks on top of each other. But yeah, people have done it everywhere, like just stacked rocks on top. Like, this is stunning, honestly. Like, what a place. Absolutely love it. Well, Castle Sinclair has absolutely blown me away. That is amazing down there. I've just sat on them rocks for about 15 minutes, just taking it all in. Honestly, that is gorgeous. And the biggest surprise, I would say, of the day so far. But yes, it is coming towards the end of day one of this epic road trip. However, there's still one more place that I'm going to be visiting today. So I'm going to get in the car and yeah, I'm going to travel to my next destination where I'm going to be, yeah, spending the night. Oh, brilliant. Now, firstly, I'll just apologise about the wind noise that you might get from up here. It is very breezy up here on the cliff tops. Here, at my final destination of the day, it's Duncansby Head. And here, I'm going to be taking a little look over at some of the views that we're going to get, and also some of my friends that I've got just over here. I mean, you probably saw them in the GoPro footage, just loads of sheep all the way around here. Literally, we're in like the field with them around here. You know, it's crazy. Here they all are, look, literally absolutely everywhere. So yeah, I'll spin you around and show you some of the views. Well, the wind seems to have calmed down a little bit as soon as I've walked over here. Now, over in the distance there, you get an absolutely incredible view. You can just see John O'Groats over there. That's where I'm going to be starting day 2 of this epic adventure. That's going to be our first stop tomorrow. So, of course, stay tuned for that. But over in the distance, you can see the Orkney Islands over there. I mean, you've got this wonderful plaque just here with all of the information on. But yeah, looking out over there, never been this far up in the United Kingdom before. It is pretty incredible. And if we go a little bit further over this way, we can actually see a lighthouse just over here as well. So we're gonna have a look at the lighthouse. Look at all these stickers that people have put on there. Oh my God, so many different people. But yeah, we'll go over this way and take a close look at the lighthouse. And then we're gonna wrap up today's adventure in one final place, which is just over that way. We've got to follow the sign. Here it is then, the Duncansby Head Lighthouse, and as you can see here from the information board, one of 200 lighthouses that are located all around Scotland's coastline, which is amazing. But here we go, let's have a bit of a zoom in for you just over there. Of course you can see the light just spinning up at the top there as well. Let's zoom into the top just there. Because the actual light isn't on yet, but it will be later on. But yeah, as you can see, it's spinning round there just to, of course, warn ships of the coastline. Yeah, the lighthouse. Pretty stunning to see. Really nice architecture on that as well, with like the castle style at the top. Very different, and that's a great view of it there, isn't it? Up there on the cliff face, brilliant. So that final destination that we're going to take a look at today are the stacks of Duncansby. So we're going to walk to them. It's about 3/4 of a mile, it says just there, and you can see them over in the distance over there. So literally we're going to walk straight through this field to them. Wind's picked up again now. Come on, sheep, you're going to guide me the way. I am adventure Sean, but I'm still not too sure which way to go. Loads of information just there about Duncansby Head, as you can see. Some of the different wildlife that we can see. But yeah, looking at the pathway, well, I say looking at the path, it's that way, mate. I think it's that way, so let's just follow it over and have a look. Watch out for all the poo.
The Duncansby stacks lie just off the shore of Duncansby Head, on the most northeastern point of mainland Britain. These towering sea stacks are believed to have stood in this position for the last 6,000 years, slowly eroding away due to the raw power of the North Sea.
Well, that was absolutely wonderful. Just sitting there for quite a while, taking in those views was stunning. It really was. And what an absolutely incredible day it's been. 120 miles away now from Inverness Castle, where I started 12 hours ago, this journey. And you know what? It's been absolutely incredible. Dunrobin Castle, that was absolutely incredible. Castle Sinclair, that was a massive surprise. And some of the stuff that I've seen along the way, some of the little towns and fishing villages and scenery, and just going along some of the roads has been fascinating. And this is just day one of this 5-day adventure. I've made my way just a few minutes down the road from where I was just to Girnigoe, and that is where I'm going to be ending today's video. It's also where I'm going to be sleeping tonight in the car, like quite a few other people seem to be doing too. There is a campsite just over there, of course, if you want to have your tent, but along with that, there's so many areas where you can just set up your tent, you can sleep in your car. Scotland's pretty relaxed about that. With me being on my own, I find it quite comfortable putting the seats down, blocking all the windows out, and yeah, I can just sit down and relax while I lay all the way back. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And tomorrow morning I'll be getting up quite early. I'll show you a little bit of my setup, what I do here, and then we'll start off here in Girnigoe. But thank you so much for joining me here in this first epic vlog from this road trip. The journey will continue tomorrow, of course, with another day, and yeah, that's going to be day 2 of this epic adventure. So thank you very much for joining me, Sean Sandbrook, and that leaves me with one final thing to say: get out there and have your own adventures. See you all tomorrow.